cruise news time, and I got a pile of it for you today. I got a whole series of stories about firsts. Cruise ship first this, cruise port first that. First, it's pretty cool stories. I do have a further update on health protocols in Australia and New Zealand. And we have another major cruise line that may be dumping the e-muster process in favor of the old one. It's a major cruise line. Also, how's your turkey? We got to talk turkey today. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face for Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022. Cruise news story number one, we have another naming ceremony that I would have liked to gone to, but it happened just a little too far to drive to. We're talking about Silversea. Silversea has named their 11th cruise ship in their fleet, the Silversea Endeavor. Now, Silversea is part of the Royal Caribbean Group fleet, and with its addition, it brings Royal Caribbean Group's fleet size up to 64. 8 squared. 64. And as I said, there was a naming ceremony for this cruise ship. I certainly would have went, but it was way too far to drive. It was held in the Le Maire Channel in Antarctica. That's right, I would have needed a jacket, not just a suit jacket. But now, always exciting when more ships come into the fleet, and Silversea's one of those elevated brands in the Royal Caribbean Group, and now they have their 11th cruise ship. The fleet around the globe is just getting bigger. Have you ever been on Silversea? Leave a comment below. How about that? Cruise news story number two is also another cruise news story of first. This time we're talking about the cruise ship, the Aida Cosma. It's made its first port stop in Dubai. And as is often the case with cruising, when there's a first of something in cruising, there's usually a ceremony. And when it comes to a cruise ship going to a cruise port for the first time, there is an exchange ceremony where plaques are exchanged between the cruise line and between local officials at the port. I wish I had a picture of it or a video of it. I don't think that I do, but oftentimes when you go to a bridge or there'll be some spot on a cruise ship where all of these plaques will be on the wall representing the ports that a cruise ship has been to. It's such a cool, rich tradition. And these stories about Dubai just get me excited. We've been talking about Dubai, we've been talking about Qatar, about cruise ships being used as hotels for the World Cup. I've been looking at itineraries in Dubai, and I've even had a conversation with one of my favorite shipmates, Don Terrace, possibly about going to Dubai at some point. I don't know if it'll be in 2023 or not, but Dubai, definitely on my bucket list. Have you cruised from Dubai? I would love to have some commentary from someone who has cruised from Dubai. If so, leave a comment below. Where'd you go? There's a lot of different itineraries. Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number three is also another cruise news stories of first. It's the first time that the infamous Diamond Princess has set sail since the shutdown. You may remember the Diamond Princess's infamy. That was the cruise ship that was docked in Yokohama in Japan. You kept people on board trying to figure out what to do at the beginning of the whole pandemic. And so certainly it's been a while since the Diamond Princess has returned to the sea. She's gone through a refurbishment, and now she is sailing out of San Diego, California. Press release reads, from November 2022 through February 2023, Diamond Princess is offering a series of new cruise itineraries ranging from 5 to 16 days and calling at ports along the Mexican Riviera, California coast, and the Hawaiian Islands. In addition, the ship sails a unique 20-day cruise to Central America, round trip from San Diego on November the 27th. We've had this conversation before. Would you sail on a ship called Titanic 2? Would you sail on Costa Concordia? Would you sail on another Carnival Triumph? Would you sail on the Diamond Princess? Does its infamy play in your mind, or do you realize that a cruise ship is just a cruise ship and that you're not superstitious that way? I always find that to be an interesting conversation. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Cruise news story number 4, really an update to some previous cruise news stories. I told you a couple days ago, because of circumstances in Australia, the cruise lines there, specifically Carnival Cruise Line, they've changed their health protocols two Carnival cruise ships requiring passengers to wear face coverings both inside and outside. Well, the update is essentially most of the major cruise companies are requiring face coverings in Australia. We have Royal Caribbean cruise ships doing that. Of course, the other Carnival Corporation cruise ships doing that, Princess most notably. And so if you're cruising in Australia or going to Australia to cruise in the next little bit, a good likelihood that you will be required to wear a face covering on those cruises. And a quick update to yesterday's story about the Quest adult game show returning to Royal Caribbean. I have had independent verification from a guest that's on the Carnival Elation that the Quest has returned to Carnival also. Now, I've been to a Quest on Carnival and I've been to a Quest on Royal. The ones I've been on Carnival have been a little more racy than on Royal, but I don't know, maybe it just has to do with the people. It's interesting. Quest spotted on another cruise line. Interesting stuff. Now, I got to tell you about another major cruise line that seems to be dumping the E-muster, but before I do that, I've got a couple more things. First, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. And it's that point in the show where I would implore you, where I would try to motivate you to hit the like button. And really, if you don't hit the like button, I will be forced to punish you. And your punishment will be this. If you do not hit the like button, well, when you wake up on Thursday morning to bake your turkey, it's going to be frozen hard as a rock. And you don't want that. So you can avoid that by hitting the like button, or you can avoid that by listening to this public service announcement. If you have a turkey in your freezer right now that you plan to cook on Thursday, well, you need to take it out of the freezer and put it in your refrigerator so the thing thaws out in time so that you can cook it. And a big shout out for the motivation to drop that public service announcement to another cruise tuber out there, Wanda from Cruising for Food. She wants to make sure that your turkey is thawed so it's delicious on Thursday. I am also motivated because of this punishment and because of that public service announcement to introduce to you a new segment for the show, and it's a once a year segment. Are you ready for it? It's called How Heavy Is Your Turkey? I happen to have my turkey right here. Hold on. Ah! Holy macaroni and cheese. All right, so we got a nice butterball turkey. It's been in the refrigerator for a whole day, or two actually, and it's still frozen. And so, yeah, make sure that your turkey is thawing out. This turkey is 22.27 pounds, and it costs $26.27. How heavy is your turkey? And how much did it cost? Let's compare turkey prices around the country. Was there a supply chain? How heavy is your turkey? Now, before I get to the next cruise news story, there are some programming announcements to make. There will be a La Lido Loca live show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what's going to be talked about. It might be a free-for-all, might talk about the Carnival naming ceremony. Anything you want to talk about, show up, ask questions, let's hang out, let's talk turkey, as it were. And, well, I made a vlog of the naming ceremony, the whole process of me trying to rush over there and go through the whole night. There's some people on there that you might recognize. A pretty good time. Just a pretty straight, trying to put you in the moment kind of vlog. That's going to come on tonight at 6:15 p.m. So hopefully you've watched the new show already. Set your calendar for 6:15 p.m. to watch the new vlogs, like 30 minutes. Go ahead and get your dinner or something. 30 minutes, 6:15, that'll be there. And then we've got a live show tonight at 9 o'clock p.m. Yeah, join us for all of that. All right, the next cruise news story is next. Here it comes. All right, cruise news story number 5. After the turkey talk, there is another cruise line out there seemingly dumping the e-muster process in favor of the everybody stand on the deck at the same time process. Our friend Aida Cruises is on a Norwegian Cruise Line cruise right now, and she posted this picture saying that the old traditional muster drill was back, which is disheartening. And I've also heard from another person on a Norwegian Cruise Line ship that they also had to do the traditional muster. Anybody out there on Norwegian, which muster are you doing? Are you doing the e-muster? Are you doing the traditional muster? They both serve the same purpose to teach you how to wear your life jacket and to get you acclimated to where your muster station is. One of them is just done independently using technology, and a quick check-in process can be done 5 to 10 minutes at the most. The other one is a tedious, everybody has to pull together and show up at the same place at the same time process that's not always fun, and it seems like we have some cruise lines that are going back to that. We've had Disney Cruise Line going back to that. We also have now spottings of Norwegian with traditional muster. It is what it is. I mean, we have to do the muster. I really hope this is not some response to people not doing the e-muster. I can tell you on every cruise that I've been on lately, late into the afternoon, they're calling people to do the very simple e-muster process. And if it's people not doing the e-muster process that's causing this return to the old way, it would be like ditching a car to go back to riding a horse when we don't live in Montana. I mean, those guys in Yellowstone are pretty cool. I gotta give it that. But we don't need to ride horses anymore. And the e-muster is just fine if people go to it. I don't know. What on your last cruise, did you e-muster or did you traditional muster? Leave a comment below. Talking about that Carnival celebration naming ceremony, getting on and off that ship was splendidly easy because the ship wasn't going anywhere. There was no custom checks or anything like that. But it did remind me of probably one of the most challenging times for us to get off a cruise ship. Have you ever seen me tell this story about the lady who had her passport in not the right place trying to leave the cruise ship? This is not how you want to leave the cruise ship. Check this video out. Next, this is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.